Get your tinfoil hats out, folks. Yes, it is Conspiracy Tuesday. Hey, welcome to Soapbox Daily. I'm your host, Mad Morgan, and thank you for joining me for episode 47. Today, we are discussing on Conspiracy Tuesday today. Our topic is, do you think the world needs a great reset or do we just wait? That is the question for today. And before we get started, hey, how was your integrity day? Are you having a good integrity day? Are you having a good integrity week so far? Keep up the good work. And if you are, and also, hey, be the change that the world needs. Also, please check out getoffmysoapbox.com for more information on this show and our long format show, Wednesday evenings of Get Off My Soapbox. Also, more activity over on Twitter at Mad Soapbox. Check that out as well. So let's get into today's topic. Let's put your tinfoil hat on for the conspiracy of the day. This is going to be somewhat conspiracy, somewhat educational, but we're going to get into it and hopefully we don't run into overtime. But we're going to cover some few things here and get you thinking today. So the Great Reset conspiracy theories don't seem to want to die. The theories are triggered by the World Economic Forum Summit in 2020. They had a forum which, well, had the great theme, the Great Reset, and argued that the COVID crisis was an opportunity to address the burning issues facing the world. Of all the changes brought by a pandemic and responses to it the last couple of years, many seem as if waiting to happen given a hard nudge, if I explain that right. But of all the changes, some changes you just think that they're ready to come about, and COVID's just one of them, and there could be more coming up. So the set of conspiracy theories around the Great Reset are nebulous and hard to pin down, but piecing them together gives us something like this. The Great Reset is the global elite's plan to instate a communist world order by abolishing private property while using COVID-19 to promote or solve overpopulation and enslaving what remains of humanity with vaccines. In a nutshell, that's the conspiracy theory. Basically, the elitist plan to take control of everything. I mean, the Great Reset is not easy. It has turned into a viral conspiracy theory purporting to expose something no one has ever attempted to hide. I mean, most of which is not really happening anyways. Some of which actually should. We do need a Great Reset. We do need it, but we need to be strategic about it. It's extra confusing for me to unpick this particular knot because at the center of it all, it is a bastardization of a concept I know a little something about, the shock doctrine. People don't like change. They just don't. Status quo, boom, go with it. It is admittedly difficult and painful to contemplate what is happening in our world. Most of us are experts at distracting ourselves from the mega catastrophe that threatens to engulf all of us, even laughing it off. But if we are brave, I believe we can come to see it as a necessity and even positive threshold in the life of our species. It is only by embracing this crisis, all of its mind-bending complexity, that we can find the will and incentive to change ourselves and our world. We can think of our current civilization, its technical, its socio-political infrastructure, its ideology and beliefs as an operating system, much like the software that runs on our computers. Now, we need to reboot and install a new system software, new operating system. A new social design could eventually give every human being the opportunity to flourish and thrive, to live creatively without fear for their future. Accomplishing this is a great mission that will require a truly rational, empathetic, I guess is the word I'm looking for, application of our technical and creative power. Hands down, we must rebuild and we must build this new program, engineer this global reboot within the next decade. I realize that some people will worry about, that I'm proposing a nefarious form of social engineering. The truth is that we've already been socially engineered. I don't know if you realize this. I mean, culture is our operating system. We have been conditioned since birth to accept a system of global control, elite privilege, and military domination. Identity is, to a great extent, a social construction. The systems that fail are those that rely on the primacy of human nature and not its growth and development. I think this is definitely true across the board. I mean, it points towards the enormous task as well as the great opportunity confronting us now. The Earth will not be able to support a global civilization based on hyper-consumerism and hyper-individualism for much longer. Therefore, we must change human nature as it is currently known. We must do this, not only to survive, but also to reach our full potential as a species. Our technocratic society uses the mass media as an instrument of mind control and threatens those who dissent or resist with violent reprisals. This design must also reckon with our darker side and destructive impulses and find ways to channel them. Ultimately, it's not a control mechanism, but ultimately we have to do a reboot. We have to do a reset. And it's important because everybody through COVID wanted to go back to 2019. 2019 sucked. And years before that weren't all that great either. We are getting to a point where we are going to hit a brick wall and it's getting pretty close. So we do have to do a great reset, but not the great reset of the global elites controlling us with, all these conspiracy type theories of controlling us with vaccines and enslaving us. Nothing along those lines. Honestly, in my opinion, we should simply abolish money, abolish debt, collectively get on the same program together, the whole world, and work towards solving the problems versus individually trying to figure out each one of them in our own little pocket of the world. That's just my viewpoint. There's no reason why this world can't provide. We just have to do things a lot better. So yeah, I'd say a new program is needed. But you decide, up to you, whether or not you think this is a big conspiracy, of the global elites plan to control us, or whether or not this is something that we need. Because I'm sorry, I just went to the grocery store and had to pay $10 for a small jar of jam, strawberry jam, nothing fancy. That's getting a little out of hand, but that's just one of a whole series of things we need to reset and redo. I'm going to leave that with you. Hey, this has been Conspiracy Tuesday, and I'm your host, Matt Morgan. Thank you very much for listening today. Thank you very much for being here. I know this is a lot to take in, but you might want to rewind and listen to it. Hopefully I explained it well. If not, by all means, give me some feedback. Ask your questions on Twitter at Soapbox. I'd love to hear from you, or send me an email. Shoot me an email. Contact information on getoffmysoapbox.com. Thank you very much for listening. Have a great Tuesday, a great rest of your day. Keep your integrity in check, and I will see you next episode. Bye for now.